And so we're proud of them and looking forward to seeing them off tomorrow. In terms of spring football, this is the time of year I love. You're really building a football team. You're building your football identity. We're building Team 120, and so much comes out of spring football. Your habits, which we're talking about, our habits, our fundamentals, our execution, our toughness, our mental toughness in terms of how do we respond when things don't go the way that we plan them to, and really seeing what we could do. And every team develops its own leadership, its own personality, and we're in the infant stages of doing that. So it's very, very important. But I was really anxious to see how our players would handle the retention of being off on spring break. For the most part, I thought they did a good job. Our younger players are still learning, going through their first spring football, of the mental effort, the mental intensity that it takes. But this is right now the most important phase of our football program in the building of Team 120. And we have to continue to demand excellence, demand discipline, and our leadership is doing a very, very good job with that. 2 injuries of note. Obviously, Jalen Reeves-Maybin will be out the rest of spring, but we anticipate him being back right around the 1st of June. And then Dylan Bates as well will miss the rest of spring. Fortunately, just like Jalen, he should be back around the first week of June too, so they should not miss any reps for the season. But it's other opportunities for other players to really assert themselves and put their football identity on video. So I answer the questions.
What are those 2 injuries?
We're not going to disclose them. We just know that they should be ready to go by June.
When you talk about opportunities, who do you think can step up and kind of fill the void of a couple of linebackers out now?
Cortez Sapp, he's going to gain valuable experience. Also Gavin Bryant. So a lot of these individuals, Colton Jumper, it's a great opportunity for them. And not only just in terms of playing defense, but also special teams as well.
How does it limit you in what you want to do, especially installing a new defense with that many injuries on the front line and on the second level?
Right now we have 12 individuals that are out for spring, and right now where it really limits us is, we have linebackers that need those repetitions in the back end. We have a number of individuals vying for playing time. Where it really limits you is up front, kind of like last spring. So we're not able to do as much. We cut practice short a little bit today, and it also hurts your development a little bit offensively too, because you can't play as much football because you need to get through the entire spring. The spring game may end up being a spring practice. We may have to call it a orange and white festival or something, just because of lack of running backs right now and defensive linemen.
Without discussing, the specifics for Dylan's injury, how tough is it for him to go out at the same time Jalen does? Because that would seem to be he would get a chance to get some more reps.
Wes, it's unfortunate, very unfortunate, because Dylan has worked extremely hard to get back, put himself in position to compete. But you know what? That's the breaks. That's the mental toughness that we talk about. And, he's shown great resiliency and perseverance, and he'll bounce back and he'll be better for it. But now what do you do at that time? Also, you can still get better. Even though you're missing, you can become better mentally. So learn the defense a little bit more, installing the defense so we can become better that way.
Jalen Hurd was also doing side work today. What's his status, and will he be back this week?
He should be back. He just has some tendonitis right now, and we're taking every precautionary measure for him. But we don't anticipate that really being something that hampers him throughout the course of spring.
From a conditioning and stamina standpoint, how did the team respond to having last week off?
Another good question. You know what? For the most part, I thought they did a good job. It was very rewarding for me being away from them from spring break, and the inordinate amount of text messages and videos sent to me of them working out on their own. And a number of individuals ventured off in different places to work out over the spring, and to me that's the maturity of a football team.
But specifically, what about Dobbs? How different is he when he returns from a break now as opposed to his first couple of years?
Well, you know what, the good thing for Josh is he gets away a little bit with his family, but he also does something to give back to the program or be a part of that, and then coming back. I would say just maturity. He's always working out, and I think all of our quarterbacks have done a really good job with that. And our entire football team is, you either live it, love it, or like it, and you have to live it to play at a high level. And we always talk to our players that, every player you're chasing greatness, and greatness is always faster than you. So if you don't get up running every day, the distance from greatness becomes even that much greater. So you got to get up and you got to hit the ground running. And that's kind of been the mentality of this football team. But again, it goes back to the fine details of playing winning football, the discipline to execute, and all those habits are born in spring football.
The military personnel that you had today, sorry if you've already been asked this, but did they speak to the team, and why was that important for you to have them around?
Well, it's very important to have them around. They protect our freedom. That's what it's all about. They put their lives on the line each and every day, and it's all about respect. I'm proud to wear this jacket. I'm proud that they gave me this jacket, and anytime that we can give back, and I think it speaks volumes for you have individuals that have laid it on the line for our country, and they're telling me that this is the greatest day that they've had of watching Tennessee football practice. And I think our players need to understand what they represent on a daily basis.
With Jalen out, how much of the install and getting the defense ready pre-snap kind of falls on Darren Kirkland now, and just how big of a spring is that for him now moving forward?
Well, it is. It's a great opportunity for him, again, to also assert himself as a leader of our defense. Jalen has become such a powerful force in terms of leadership, not just on the defensive side of the ball, but in the entire football team. Now there's also a great leadership opportunity for Darren, but also everyone else as well.
What's it say about Josh's character that he continues to be asked to speak at events like the Elite 11 and the opening?
It speaks volumes. We have so many great individuals on this football team, and he's so willing to give back in our community across the country, and he's a great ambassador to our football program.
Do players have to submit a spring break plan before they go? Does that have to get approved by the head coach?
Well, we're working on trying to go somewhere for spring practice, but we do. We know where they're going. They get numerous reminders and text messages and all that. But, it's kind of exciting to see where these individuals go, who they work out with, and it's like, Alvin going down to Miami, and I get a text message, and there's him and Antonio Brown together. And to me, those are things where, they hear the Antonio Brown stories all the time, and now he's able to meet up with him, and they're going to meet up again in sometime in May and work out. But, to me, that's the exciting thing is to see these players grow and try to elevate their game when they have time off.
Where would you like to take spring practice?
Do a state of Tennessee tour throughout the state.
Haven't talked to you since Coach Shoup spoke pretty highly of Micah Abernathy last week. How's he done so far at safety?
Well, I think first of all, I think it's very important we talk about being a family, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Abernathy family with the passing of his father. And, our players have done a great job of being there for him. And Micah was here today. He didn't practice, but he came back to attend classes, and he'll be here for a few days and then go back to Atlanta for the funeral. But Micah has been a rock of stability. He's continued to improve and grow, and Micah's a sponge. He's as great of a character person as I've been around. He's very, very competitive, and he's worked very hard this offseason.
The NFL today legislated completely against chop blocks. I know it's more of a cut block this job, but is there any change that you would like to see in terms of blocking below the waist?
I think the big thing is just making sure that it's a head-up chop block, and no side angles and all that. So, we worked hard on cut blocking from an offensive standpoint and getting off cut blocks from a defensive standpoint. But I think just making sure that everything is a frontal cut tackle or cut blocking as well.
But that's not a rule now, right?
Well, they've done a good job of really kind of curbing. You don't see as much cut blocking as you used to because of some of the rule changes in the last couple of years.
Some of those younger receivers like Preston, how they
progressing. Preston is one of those individuals that kept sending me videos of him running routes in the sand and all that. But I've been very, very encouraged by all of them. They come out, they've had a great work ethic about them, a demeanor. But now is when you become challenged because of the volume in terms of running. And we monitor all that, but now your body becomes a little bit sore. Now can you handle the grind from a body standpoint, but also from a mental standpoint as well. But after 4 practices, I've been very pleased with it.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.